Well, the 2023 wildfire season is wrapping up, but in some ways it feels like it never really began. We were below average, both in terms of acres burned and structures destroyed. For example, in a normal year, looking at the 5-year average, we would have burned 1.6 million acres. This year, we're around 320,000, which is 20% of normal. And then structures destroyed, there's an even larger difference. So the 5-year average on that was 8,000 structures per year. This year, only 52, which is about 1% of normal. Now, some of the reason for that is a lot of the large fires we had this year were burning in more remote areas, but perhaps the larger reason comes back to weather.
The 2023 fire season is probably ranked as one of the lowest acres burned in the last decade. It's up there with 2019, which is a very low fire year for us. And this has to do with the wet winter we had, the cooler summer conditions, and a little bit of luck as well.
I probably don't need to remind you of this, but we picked up a lot of rainfall this last winter. We had a series of atmospheric rivers move into the state, and in some ways that can be viewed as a bad thing because it brings so much rainfall over such a short period of time, so that can lead to things like flooding. But in terms of wildfire, it's great news because the more moisture you bring back into your fuels, the harder it is for fire to start, and then the slower fires spread once they do start. So across the whole state, looking at the water year, we picked up about 140% of our normal precipitation, and then we even saw some late season rainfall. We had Tropical Storm Hilary move into Southern California in mid-August, and it brought some record-breaking rainfall at the exact same time when we're usually drying out our fuels. So that certainly helped to reduce wildfire activity as well. Now on top of that, we also had cooler temperatures than you would expect. So that leads to less evaporation out of your fuels. So your fuels are able to hold on to more of the moisture that they picked up throughout the winter. But then it also means that more of your precipitation is going to fall as snow. And this is certainly something we saw in 2023. We had one of our largest snowpacks on record. So if you look at this blue shaded area, that's your snowpack in a normal year. That purple line is our snowpack in 2023. And main reason that's important is your snow is like a reserve of moisture. So because we picked up so much snow, and then because it was cooler than normal, the snow was able to stick around a lot longer, which means we were able to bring more moisture back into our fuels even as we got into fire season. So I think the best way to visualize just the decrease in dryness that we had across the state is if you look at the drought monitor a year ago, 100% of the state was in moderate drought. Now, 0% of the state is in moderate drought. So just summarizing the 2023 wildfire season, we had above normal precipitation in winter and below normal temperatures that led to increased fuel moisture, which leads to a reduction in fire danger, and then the below normal acres burned and structures destroyed that we saw. So for KSPW Action News 8, I'm Holt Hanley.